Hey everyone, welcome back. It's August 2nd, Saturday, 2025. Um, Thank you guys for joining and just welcome back to another video. Just so that you guys are updated. If you guys aren't following along with my Instagram account, Trend with Ant, you guys just so that you guys are aware and are on the same track as everyone else. I stopped doing the $160 to $1,000 challenge that I pretty much gave myself. Mainly because it was taking a little longer than I wanted it to, and that's fine. I can always circle back to doing $160 to 1,000. As of right now, the point that I'm at is I just want to start scaling and reeling in profits so that I can always, give it back. I can give back to you guys. I can give back to others, family, friends, stuff like that. But and then, journey is up from there. So, um, let's hit it with a quote by Mark Douglas. He says, "Each moment of a terrorizing experience seems to last forever because the environment is assaulting our senses." Let me know what you guys think about that quote by Mark Douglas. I'll tell you what I think. I think that he says this so that it opens our mind and then we think on a level that is not shy to accept risk. Because no matter how you trade, there's always gonna be risk involved. And I think that until you accept the risk, you will not be long-term profitable until you accept risk and utilize proper risk management. You don't want to full port your account and say, yeah, I accept risking 1,000 for 20,000. I don't think that's the right way to trade. That's more gambling rather than, professionally trading, or trading with an edge. You can't really trade with an edge by recklessly sparing 100% of your profit of your equity, um, and plan on being long-term profitable. But yeah, that's what I want to share with you guys from that quote. Let me know again what you guys think about that. If you guys haven't already, like, comment, subscribe on this video, join my free Discord. I also share with you today my screen, which I show you a picture that I screenshotted and shared. I dropped it into the Discord to share my profit and loss statement. We're gonna go over the profit and loss statement that I shared with the Discord, so that you guys are up to date on that and how this previous week went. And then I'm also going to show you guys my new TradeZilla account that, you know, shows you the P&L and stuff like that. Then we'll get into some other things. So just stay tuned. Let's start. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. All right, so move this right here. So now you guys should be able to see my screen. First things first, we'll go over the trading Discord. Hold on one second. I think this is it. Yeah. So this is the screenshot that I shared from my iPhone, and I'm no longer on Trade Locker at the moment with the current live account that I'm actively trading. This is the live account that I'm actively trading right now. I share the most of my trades in the Discord so that other people are aware of the markets that I'm participating in throughout the week. I also share my stop loss and take profit. And as soon as I enter, right after I enter, I either right after or, if it's an order limit, I'll just drop the ideas for entry, stop loss and take profits in the trading Discord. So remember it's free, so just join it if you want to. Um, yeah. But yeah, uh, this is how this week went. So you can see I started off from scratch with a different trading broker. I switched from KOT Forex to CoinX, and then I also, since CoinX does not utilize TradeLocker, I switched my broker account from using TradeLocker to MT4. So I haven't used MT4 in like 2, maybe 3 years, since they stepped away from a lot of broker accounts or brokers. Um, but yeah. As you can see, I did a deposit of 1684, right? You can see I did a deposit of, I think I zoomed in too much. I did the deposit of 1684 this week, right? Because I merged the 160 to $1,000 account and the other account that I've been telling you guys about that I started off at 975 and I brought it to almost, 2000. I merged those two together, those two accounts together, and it's at 1684. So that's where I got the deposit from, 1684, directly deposited into this new broker account on MT4's trading platform, as you can see for this week. And then regardless of, I actually started off the week negative like $200. But regardless of the, negative $200 that I lost from in total earlier on this week, I actually ended up $422. So I ended off the weekend up $422, which brings the account's equity from 1684 to 2100, and that's about a 25% increase on the equity in just only a week. And then let's say if you're at least bringing in 25% per week, 25% per week times there's 52 weeks. That's 1,300% return on which obviously once it compounds, it's honestly going to be way more than only, 1,300%. 1,300% to me personally isn't a lot for the year, just because of the potential that I see through the markets. But yeah, usually like, I'm averaging between 25 and 35% per week, on profits. There's also times where I just break even, so I don't know, maybe that might affect with the average, but I definitely am I'm cutting out the types of trades that I just wouldn't really see as like a long-term fit for the way that I trade. I'm also learning a lot from my mistakes, which is the main reason why I've been cutting out the types of trades that I just don't see in my best interest based on, trading on the higher time frame, which is obviously what I've been doing because it's not that easy to trade on small time frames and have a good, decent risk to reward that makes sense as a long-term solution for your trading journey, in my opinion. That's just based on, my experience. Because I've tried the small time frames and they're a lot less reliable than the higher time frames in my experience. Um, People out there might have different uh I don't know, perspectives or experiences, but just in my opinion and experience, I just think that the higher time frame just makes the most sense for me. Maybe for everyone else, but as well, but for some people out there, but yeah, that's just my take on things. I'm just gonna share with you guys what's been working for me and take what you want from it. Uh, I'm just really just sharing free information here. But yeah. That's how this week has went. I'm actively in a Euro JPY sell, and I can actually, yeah, I'm still in this Euro JPY sell. So I think I'm gonna stay in it for a little longer. Not sure exactly when I'm gonna close, but I do have an idea on when I might close. So I entered around this area up here, and I anticipate on holding the Euro JPY trade until for sure here, but maybe even down here or past here. So this could be a really good opportunity to capitalize on just by holding. So this is not green. This is actually orange since I'm actively in this trade. This UK 100 trade is where I got stopped out. So I'm gonna just make this red because I'm not actively in it right now and I'm not interested in it right now. I might actually need a refresh because I remember editing stuff in here. I thought I edited stuff in here, but I guess not. Could have sworn I had more trades, more pairs that I traded. I know I excluded some or actually I excluded a lot actually. My list used to be all the way down, down below, but it probably got cut by about 25% because I just want to start focusing on the ones where it's actually more intentional and responds more with market structure, more reliable. I just think that it makes the most sense for me to focus on, ones that are more respected from market structure to raise my win rate and I don't know, cut out the losses that really, just cut out the losses, honestly. Um, AUD So I'm not gonna focus on this right now because I'm already in a JPY pair, so I'm gonna make this red. I guess you could say that right now we're about to just start looking at pairs and do a weekly markup. Um, Here, this is just gonna remain red. GBP I took this GBP trade, and as you can see, I walked away from the market with a profit of $506 from this GBP sell. So I shared this in my Discord as well, and I showed you guys that I probably stayed in this trade for 2 or 3 days. Once it got up here, I'm not sure exactly where I entered, somewhere around here, but I stayed in it for about almost 3 days because I remember getting out on Friday. So yeah, I'm gonna delete this and GBP I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna just step away from GBP since I just hit my take profit. Um, if we look at the we look at the daily time frame for AUD USD, I think it's pretty clear that the US dollar right now is currently bullish, but it may not be bullish for long because if we look at the monthly time frame is actually, hmm, let me see, monthly time frame. If the monthly time frame does I'm gonna do boom. So we got monthly time frame does, actually I'll just do the high low. So high low, boom, that's market structure right there. This is internal, this is an internal range. And then boom, boom. So if we're looking at the US dollar that, the way that it looks right now, and then we do a 6 months, you can see the 6 month time frame is bullish. What about 12 months? 12 months is also bullish. So right now we're just getting a retest. And then if we look inside of here, we've got an imbalance in the 12-month range. So price should most likely wick into here, which is what's happening right now. Daily time frame just indicated that we are bullish. So this could be a great turning point for us to start looking for uh bullish moves with the US dollar. And I would probably delete this right here. I wouldn't say that this is a monthly range of 50%. I would just really look for the US dollar to start creating higher highs. Um, so yeah, I think that we're bullish on the DXY and AUD. If AUD USD is, let me look at the 6 month time frame here. So it looks like okay, so AUD back in 2011, we were up here. Now, we could plummet, honestly. We could start plummeting. If we look at the daily, if we look at the weekly, okay, so we got, okay, so right here is a low. This is a low key level of a swing low. This is a high key level of a swing high. So we've been in the range for quite some time, and this is on the weekly level. So now that we've shifted from being bullish on the daily time frame to now being bearish on the daily time frame, there's a high possibility or high probability that we can short the market from up here down to even creating a newer low. Since the US dollar is now bullish, so obviously you want to be on the side of the US dollar if the, US dollar is over competing majority of pairs and has turned bullish. I would look for some shorts around here, and then I would take price down to create a newer low to take out this right here. I'm just gonna put a dollar sign down here so that we know price is most likely attracted to this level. Um, could do a hunt to this level right here. Excuse me, because that's the weekly low. Um, hmm, let's see. So, this is what about the monthly time frame? Uh, okay, so the thing is though that, yeah, so the thing is that the monthly is ultimately the monthly might actually be ultimately bullish. Um, yeah, we're ultimately bullish because we haven't broken this right here. We've literally just been wicking this area right here, and the high on the monthly time frame is actually up here. So we're actually in a monthly range. It's not bad. Um, what I would say though is if the weekly time frame is ranging from here to here, uh, um, hmm, I might actually reconsider this idea that I just came up with for this because instead of price ranging from here to here, and then once it broke out, it actually came up and then started creating newer highs. So the weekly is currently bullish. It might right now be switching from bullish to bearish. If you look at the daily time frame, maybe Euro USD might be easier to understand. I might have to come back to this one. Yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out. I might just make this one red. I can always come back to this one. Let's do Euro USD instead. Um, let's go to the weekly. So yeah, let's say the monthly. All right, so let's look at what the monthly time frame indicates. Okay, so if we look at the monthly time frame, we can we can say that this is the monthly range. Here is the monthly range low, and here's the monthly range high. So this is the range ultimately. We're looking at a high and low. If this is the monthly range and we just got a retest, to a key level. We would be looking for drop down to the weekly. Weekly still bullish. If we drop down to the daily has just turned from bullish to bearish. I would say that if this is the weekly low right here, there's a possibility that we might target that low and start shooting for, this low. So yeah, but there's also a possibility that price does not come to that point and just creates a newer high. So there are a couple things to consider. Uh, I really don't see a reason for why price would stop around here to create a newer high, but it's always possible. Um, the market does not fail to do the impossible things. And I don't know, I'd probably look for like a 1 hour market structure shift around this area right here. So I'm gonna make sure I remember that and put this here. And there's a good amount of imbalance here, so I wouldn't I wouldn't debunk the daily having a continuation to the upside. I wouldn't completely debunk that theory, but I would say that about 75 to 80% of the way that the market's moving right now, in my opinion, I'd say that we might even get price to come surpass 1.01898 just based on how the DXY is moving. And yeah, it's pretty much my take on that one. So I'm gonna have this green, and I'm gonna say that this is an A plus plus setup. Uh, GBP AUD. Okay, so I was in this trade, but I ended up switching my GBP CHF trade. Instead of doing the GBP AUD trade, I ended up switching from GBP AUD to GBP CHF because it was pretty much a similar move on the GBP pair, on both GBP pairs, but GBP CHF it seemed like it would create a better return on investment or RR. Um, yeah, I'm gonna just make this red because it doesn't really give for me a solid risk to reward idea, and I'm gonna just put US oil down there. I'm waiting for a pullback on Nasdaq. We just got a daily candle go bearish, right? So we were creating higher highs, and then now we shifted from being bullish to bearish. And as you can see, it was a high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, and then we just closed, right? There's our close. So I would argue that we're going for, if we switched on the daily time frame, I would drop or go from the monthly to say that we're probably aiming for a pullback, and the pullback could be there's a breaker right here. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys know about breakers. Maybe ICT traders know about breakers. I kind of do like support resistance and ICT. I kind of just combine everything together. I would say that we should get priced to this point around here. And if we're gonna do that, we're probably gonna have to do even though 4 hour went bearish, right? So, um, I would wait for some type of confirmation on the smaller time frame around this area, like a 15-minute shift. This is gonna be like the trade of the week. If we can get a good a good shift around this area, I would trade this until price comes around this area right here. And then there's also a possibility to hold it even further, but I think that's the most that I would expect out of this. Um, yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be green. Definitely recommending this for my A plus plus trade for the following week. This is GBP USD. So if we look at the weekly time frame, we can expect, let's see, weekly time frame has actually shifted from being bullish to now being bearish on the weekly time frame. And that could, let me see, weekly time frame, if the weekly time frame has shifted. What are we looking at for, okay, so we're looking at the range. Okay, so GBP just continues to fight against US dollar. US dollar continues to go up. Um, Obviously this is our range here, and so that's our range high. This is our range low. This could be, this could possibly be taken out relatively not soon, but next. I would say next, that could relatively be our next target. Uh, we just got a good engulfing or a candle that just got engulfed on the monthly time frame, which is a signal for us to know that we can possibly be starting to look for a target to the downside. And if we're looking to trade from, the higher time frames, weekly's already done its job and shifted from bullish to bearish, right? If we look at the daily time frame, daily's also shifted from bullish to bearish. So this would be a swing low. This would be our swing high. This would be our swing low. If we're going to go back in time, here's a close. Okay. I would say this was our most previous high, low, high, low, high, broke down, low. And then we just wait for a continuation pattern, which would be a pullback. But say what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Daily time frame has closed, and to see what happens next, 4 hour has changed from, like, who knows? I really don't think really doubt price would come back higher than it has around here, because it looks like this is the left shoulder, head, right. So left head, right shoulder. Um, all right. So bearish, 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 right? Let's look at the 15-minute or 4 hour time frame and let's check out price. So we got daily time frame, a lot of orders here, here, here. So this is an important key level. Um, Very important key level. 8 hour time frame. So this is the high right here on the 8 hour time frame. I would say daily time frame. Yeah, this is probably the highest it's gonna go. I think this might be the highest that price is gonna go. So I would say I would mark this off as a range, and I do not expect price to go any higher than this. Then I would just look for, okay, so there's a good imbalance around here. Say maybe bring this down here. Could do long-term sells here. Long-term sell, and my long-term sell would be this could be a very long-term sell, like a 1 to 60 or 1 to yeah, 1 to 60. Um, really don't know how quick the DXY would continue to push further. So I could either just catch this 4 hour move to the downside. Yeah, because I haven't really been doing. That's for somebody that's gonna, look to do either be an investor or, swing trader for, a couple months. I'm currently in the phase of scaling my account, so I'm probably just gonna take this setup here and I can either target hair to hair or from there to hair. So I might end up doing that because now we're currently in a downtrend. But yeah, that's pretty much it for JBP USD. I would say that this is a good trade, but I wouldn't really mark it as a A plus plus setup. USD CHF, you can see that I was actually waiting for price to hit that area, and price, yes, has hit that area, and then it started moving shady. So, what can I do now? Well, price isn't done selling, obviously. Looks like, let's look at the daily time frame. Daily, clearly it's bearish. Daily's clearly bearish. 4 hour time frame is now bearish. I would turn this to the 15-minute, start trading on the lower time frames since we missed this move. So the Swiss franc is actually defeating the US dollar. Why? I have no clue, but this is our range, so just gotta just have to be innovative and work with what we got. So if the 4 hours shifted from bullish to bearish, I would start looking for some sell side opportunity on maybe 1 hour, 2 hour, 15-minute time frame with the pullback, and then start targeting the low. This is honestly a really good opportunity, and I would mark this one as an A plus plus setup. And then we can even go further, start looking at the daily time frames for areas of interest. I would mark off this here and look left. Maybe what year is this? Oh, this is too far. Um, I only see two areas of interest, so not terrible, but I would start right there. Definitely looking for the pullback though, because the 4 hour is bearish and daily is bearish. Um, 8 hour, 8 hour is actually not bearish, but I would still say I would focus on bearish. Um, 1 week. 1 week time frame, daily time frame has gone from being bullish to bearish. So look at the monthly time frame. Monthly time frame indicates we're actually bullish, but Let's start at the daily time frame. So daily time frame and 4 hour time frame. Okay. This is a good opportunity to start looking for imbalances and a pullback. Perfect risk to reward. 1 hour time frame, daily time frame. I think the most previous common area of interest is probably here. I think this would give a good return on investment if we looked for sells right here. Especially because you can see that there's imbalance above the wicks and all. And it's there's a breaker right here on the 4 hour time frame. It just looks like it makes the most sense. This I would rate it A plus plus. GBP, JPY. So we've got GBP, JPY has shifted. I mean, it's still daily bullish. Next week it might go from daily bullish to bearish. It's already shifted from the 4 hour time frame as being um from bullish to bearish. So I'm gonna say this was our most recent high, just to start looking at ranges. This is also an important key level, and we didn't go from being bullish to bearish, obviously, until we came and closed around this area. And then if we start looking at what happened afterwards, you can see this was our swing high. Whoops. 4 hour time frame, this is our swing high. And then what happened later on was NFP, which gave us a lower low. So this was our range. We started ping-ponging, and as you can see, it was hair to hair to hair to hair to hair. So that's our setup. And we're most likely going to take this out right here on the daily time frame. But as of right now, it's pretty much a similar setup to CAD JPY, meaning that we should be I would start looking for pullback, and the pullback I'd wait for would be at the price of, I would say the price of maybe 197.84. Seems like a respected area of interest. 4 hour time frame shows an imbalance. There's a breaker right here, and there's also so yeah, that's pretty much that right there. Target would be around that area right there. So yeah, that's pretty much that right there. I would definitely look out for that. This is green, but it's not like, I wouldn't say this is an A plus plus setup because the daily doesn't match the 4 hour as bearish. Although this low has been wicked out, it's still not officially bullish. But then again, some traders would say that because price has closed below this level, we are bearish. I mean, to each his own. USD CAD, 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame shifted from bullish to bearish. I would wait for a 1 hour shift around this area. And until then, I would just wait. So this would not be an A plus plus setup for me, but I would still consider this as being tagged green. Honestly, USD pairs are really showing a lot of good signs. Um, Even on NZD USD, like you can, well, daily's actually still bearish, or bullish. The 4 hour is currently bearish. Um, the 8 hour time frame shows about the 4 hour. Mm, where does it make sense? I would say if it makes sense, probably here to investigate the lows, the highs, the lows, and then it went from being bearish to bullish, and it switched from, so now it's probably, or this one seems confusing, so I'm not gonna trade this one. I'm just gonna leave this red. USD JPY. USD JPY has gone bullish to bearish, or bearish to bullish. Pullback is currently activated. Weekly time frame indicates that we are bearish, but now if we look at daily time frame, 4 hour time frame is bearish. I would say, oh man, daily time frame. The daily time frame is bearish or bullish now. 4 hour time frame is bearish. Boom, there's a breaker right there. Not a A plus plus setup, but I would still mark this green. Obviously, we're gonna be selling, and if the daily is gonna be turning from bullish to bearish, then you know, target this low, but really won't know until it happens. Um, who knows what's gonna happen? But as of right now, don't know if the US dollar is gonna really outcompete the Japanese dollar just based on what I'm looking at, because this can always get wiped out again. So I would keep this as green just because it is an opportunity, but yeah. I missed out on this right here, and yeah, definitely missed out on this opportunity. Red, 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 red. US 30 is the daily bullish. Let's see. Close high 4491398. Okay, all right. 4 hour indicates boom. So pretty much Nasdaq and US 30 have bearish momentum and indicate that we could be looking to short the market. And our most recent low is here. I would say 50% of the monthly is a pullback of here, at least, which gives us a take out this wick around here. And then we'll see which one gives us the better risk to reward. But this would be a long-term trade. 1 to 6. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the risk to reward once the week opens up. But yeah, this is gonna be an A plus plus trade. So I just want to give you guys also and let's start talking about a couple other things. So um let's talk about the one trading mistake. This is just honestly the end for, the markups. Unless you want to go over the reason why I traded the GBP CHF sell. So I can actually go over this because this was a successful trade. And this is the P&L. So this is the 422 that I showed you guys here on the screenshot of my MetaTrader 4. Um, so this is exactly how I closed out at the end of the week on Friday. And then I do have that Euro JPY, trade that I shared with you guys. Excuse me. But yeah, this is the MT4 account that I just opened up this past week. That had 1684 at the start, and now is at 2106. But yeah, $422 is my profit for this past week. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much that. Um, so yeah, I'll show you guys what I saw this past week. So I saw that this past week the daily time frame has gone from making lower highs and lower lows to, well, okay, so lower high, lower low. Um, uh, yeah, I would say this is a lower high, lower high, lower low, then lower low. But the 4 hour time frame, if you look, the daily time frame was bearish. So if the daily time frame is bearish and you check out the 4 hour time frame is most likely going to sell as well. And what I saw on the 4 hour time frame was I seen that we had a high and I also saw that we had a low here. So being that we had both a high and a low on the 4 hour time frame, all I had to do was check out how price reacted to this area around here. Because I think I already had took a loss when price had gotten, yeah, when price came around here. I think I sold early, but then price came and stopped me out, I believe. But then, yeah, price came to this area right here. And then if we look at the 15-minute time frame, there was a shift in this area. So high or low, right? So high, low, lower, high, then you get a break of structure, which you can see price came down here. So price went from this low or this higher high to this higher low to this higher high to this lower higher low to this higher high and then broke structure. So this is the structure break, the break of structure. You can either enter around this area after price closes and short from here, right? So short from here, stop loss above the high, or you can wait for price to come back and then you can sell either around there, looking at the 1 hour or 1 minute time frame, 2 minute, 3 minute time frame, short it, or even sell from here I normally just recommend at least putting your stop loss above that high just in case you're wrong. Um, but yeah, if you did sell around the 50 minute or 50%, then your risk to reward could have been around 1 to 5. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much how that trade went for me this week. There was a couple pullbacks that happened around here, so I didn't hold it exactly until this point. I seen that price started playing around in this area, so I ended up just taking my profits, I think, or around this area, yeah. And so I just took my profit instead of holding it for the rest of the day. Um, but yeah, still made a good amount of profit on this trade. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got out of this week. Um, and just to prove to you that risk management is, you know, your way out, metaphorically. You can see how many L's I took this week, but regardless of the L's, my wins are what mattered the most because I ended up $422 in profit. So that is pretty much it. And then if we even were to play coin flip, right? Let's say we're doing a coin flip on whether your whether your idea is going to be a win or lose. Let's do a coin flip on a $200 account. I think nowadays everybody has 200. Let's start out by doing $200. This is just literally risk management. This is what they don't tell you. Simple math. So you start off with $200 in equity, right? And you're only risking 5%. Many people might think that 5% is a lot. Others might say that it's too little, and some might say that it's just right. For me personally, I'm the one that's going to say it's just right. So I'm going to give you this as an example. And then if you guys, want to run with it, run with it. If not, completely up to you. So yeah, here is, let's say we were to do a coin flip. Every time it lands on heads, it's a win. Every time it lands on tails, it's a lose. And let's say we only go for 1 to 3. Again, we only go for 1 to 3s, meaning I'm only willing to risk. In this case, 5% of $200 is $10, right? And let's say we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trades, right? These are all gonna account as trades. Trades, I'm just gonna keep it as trades. So trades, highlighted it. Now let's see. If it's a win, I'll do W. If it's a lose, I'll do L. And then I'm gonna also t put the numbers, or I'll just do negative, $10, and then just add it at the end. All right, boom. So 1 to 3s. Right now, if we're managing this account, if we're managing this account, we're gonna risk $10 for $30. Okay. Now let's start doing a coin flip. Again, heads, just so that you guys can remember, I'm gonna put heads. Heads equals win. Tails equals, the rest. L. Loss. Boom. Let's start. Flip again. Heads. All right, so we just profited $30. Second trade, coin flip, tails. And if you just keep up with this concept, you should be profitable in the end. It's all about profitability. So tails. We lost $10. Lost $10. Or actually, since the account's equity went from $200 to $230, that's now 230. So 5%. So that's minus, so 230 minus 1150, 230 minus 1150 equals $218.50. Boom. Minus, so 218. Oh man, type it 218.5. Okay. This was, I'm just gonna start typing these stuff. Negative 11.50. And this was, I'm gonna delete this. This was plus 30. Went from 200 to 230 and then minus 1150 because we're doing 5% of the account even when it grows. So this is 1.1. This is 2 plus, so plus 30. All right. Third coin flip. Let's see. Heads. Boom. We got, oh, 218. So $218. Um, $218.05 with an increase of 5, 10, 15%. Hold on. $200 increase, 5, 10, 15, 15%, 230. Okay, I was right. Next is amount is 218.5, and then we just won heads, which means we got an increase of another 15%. So now our account equity has gone from 218 to 251.27. And then from 251.27, that is, what's the difference of that? That's 251, 251.27 minus 218.5, 218.5, 218.5. That's 3277, right? Now we're on the fourth trade. Flip head or flip again. Boom. We got another winning trade. This is literally what happens. I'm not joking. Um, Virtually what happens because it's literally a coin that I'm looking at right now. It obviously takes time. The market doesn't react as quickly as these things, depending on also on your strategy and also on your time frame. Mm, Man, 251 plus increase of 15%. So that's 251 increase or 251.27 plus 15%. So now we're at 288.96. And that's 288.96 minus 251.27 is $37.69 that we just accumulated in addition to what we already have. So I would do 37.69 here. Then I would do I would edit this. Editing this would give us 288.96 and Now we're gonna flip the next coin. Oh, we got one, two, three winning trades back to back. So we got amount is now at 288.96 and increase of 15%. This is literally just saying, hey, I'm only taking or I'm only getting one to threes, right? At least one to threes. Um, risking 5% for at least 15%. And then that's not even including holding the trades for a longer term or catching a setup that gives you even more of a one to three. Sometimes you can find a one to nine, one to 10, maybe even a one to 15 or 120. But yeah, this is really just on the low end, right? On the low end. But yeah, 288.96. Then you've got increased by 15%. Now it gives the accounts equity over $40. Now the accounts equity is sitting at 332.30. Then that means that you have 332.30 minus 288.96 is a plus 43.34. And I would probably add that dollar sign there. Here, I would probably just add that just so that it kind of gives you guys a better understanding. And plus $30. All right. Next, we got another coin flip. Oh, we got another heads. So we are now four trades in with profit. So now what is this? This is three amount is 332.30 with a 15% increase. Now our accounts equity is now at 382.14 and that means 332.30. So 382.14 minus 332.30 is equivalent to an additional 49.84, right? Our seventh trade, we can see what we get, and we get heads again. We're on a roll. Here, what should I do? 382. So 382.14 increase of 15%. That means we've gotten 439.46. This is our accounts equity now, and that is 439.46, 39.46 minus 382.14. 382, 382.14. It's an additional 57.32. All right, we got three more trades to go. We got heads again. Yo. All right. Next, we got 439, 439.46, 39.46. Increase of 15% is now at, our equity has now increased and we're currently at 505.38. And if we go from 505.38, now if we go from 439, so 505, the math is 505.38 minus 439.46. Then we're at 65. Nine, so we got nine at the ninth trade. Heads again is crazy. I can't lie. That's one, two, three, four, five, six trades in a row. Profit. Literally back to back to back. All right. What should I do? 505, 505.38. I've never had, one, two, three, four, five, six back to back to back. Honestly, I think I have actually, but it was probably on like a prop from account. 538, 505.38. 581. So now we're at 581.38. And that is, um, what is it? What is it? What is it? 581.38 minus our previous, which is 505.38, gives us a $76 increase. So that's $76. Um, which was an increase. Our 10th trade, honestly, right now it doesn't matter heads, tails. Obviously, we're in profit. So, boom, we take a loss. Honestly, I really don't care because you can see how much we've gained. So that's 10th trade. We lost, what, 5%. So if we lose 5%, that is, um, what is 5% of 581.38? That's $29.07. 581.38 minus $29.07. And so that's 552. So now we're at 552. We have a subtraction of negative $29.07. So we lost $29.07, and we also took a loss here, right? So we've got two losses here, here, but everything else we have had profit. I don't know, maybe this is unrealistic for you. This is honestly like a 90% or 80% win rate. If you have an 80% win rate, then this is typically how your trading journey would go. If you maintain the risk management. And this is something that I wish I knew from when I first started, because if I did know more about risk management, it would have taken me less than 6 years to understand. But unfortunately, that's not how it went for me. And just to summarize, the difference between starting at $200 and ending at 581. I don't think I edited this yet, did I? That's 552. Yeah, no, we ended at 552.31. So for, starting at 200, that's not bad. You doubled your account. The difference between $200 to 552.31 is an increase of 176%. more than 176. It's like 176.15. But regardless, that's a lot just to, stay for the very least of only going and aiming for 1 to 3 risk to reward setups that are high probability. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've actively been doing, and it's been working for me. I imagine it'll work for you. It's simple risk management. It's like you could be a fifth, fourth, third grader and, do this from young. You know what I mean? But that's that. Anything else? I think I'll save some more info for you guys. You guys can continue learning. If you guys found this video helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and join my free Discord. You can also partake or, just be present in the Discord. You don't have to respond, but at least be present and maybe take some ideas for myself for free. It's a free Discord. I share my ideas with everyone in the Discord. There's other people that respond in the Discord as well. Be a part of the community. It's completely for free. And I hope you guys gain value from this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. All right, take care.